A lot of people are talking about proper swing plane. In fact, I've been working on proper swing plane to assist me with maybe moving the club a little bit faster, getting a little bit more consistency out of my strike. I know this is something that's of interest to you, and I've got a nice little tip that's going to help you improve. Don't forget, by the way, to like and subscribe to the channel and let everybody know what's going on, what we're doing here, helping people get better. So here's what I've done. I've taken a gear tie, and I've tied it around my wrist here so that you can see how this little orange button is going to work. Now, how do we get off plane? Well, in effect, what happens when we cross the line at the top, the club starts to go back this way. And then what we do is we let the wrist, the forearm, work in a rotational fashion that for the right-handed golfer is a clockwise fashion. So we're going across. So we're twisting this way. And when your forearm and wrist twist this way, that's where you set the club horizontally. We don't want the club to set horizontally. When it sets horizontally, now all of a sudden you have to recover this. The club shaft gets a little steep, and the next thing you know, you get into some trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I rotate that wrist in a poor fashion. The club is going to set horizontally. So go back like this. Now I'm going to twist it like this. So twist it like that. And you can see that club twist across. Okay, now come on over here and let me show you what just happened there. It's a little Zorro swing. So the club works back. It's actually not in a bad plane right here. And then all of a sudden what ends up happening is it starts to set across. And now the head of the golf club is over my ear. Club face is a little open, maybe square to open. But then what ends up happening is that all of a sudden I got to recover it, and it steepens right here. And it takes a long time for the head of the golf club to get behind the grip. It finally gets it here, and when it starts doing that, what ends up happening is the club face now starts to get a little bit open as it comes down into the strike, okay? Now, I'm going to show you what I want you to do. I'm not going to record this just yet. But what I want you to do is when you take the club up here, I want you to flop the wrist, not twist the wrist. So flop the wrist back, not twist the wrist. So when I twist the wrist like this, that's when I get into some real problems. I want to flop the wrist. So I take the club back with one hand, go up to here, and then flop the wrist. And when I flop the wrist, the head of the golf club is way back behind the handle. So up and flop. Up and flop. And there's no twisting. And right here, you can still see that little button of the orange gear tie. If I twist it, it'll disappear. I want to be able to see that at the top, and I want to see that with a flop. So now, let me record that and show you what this is going to look like. Up and flop. I don't know if I did that as like a 10 out of 10 in the flop, but let's just see. So now I'm flopping. There it is. There's the flop. Now I can draw a line straight down the shaft of the golf club, and it goes right into my shoulder. That is what I would call perfect. I thought I didn't do it exactly as well as I wanted to, but it turns out that was pretty good. Now, watch what happens when I start to come down here. So now we're bringing the golf club down. Now the head of the golf club, by the way, is, let me erase that. The head of the golf club is immediately behind the handle. So in effect, what I've done is I've laid the shaft of the club down in the backswing. That's one of the reasons why you want to plane the club, because it helps to lay the club down a lot faster. The head gets behind. You can hang on to the angle a little bit more and even get a little bit more distance. So now the club is now working down the way that I want. It's trailing behind. It gets into the forearm right there. Continues in the forearm right there. It gets into my hand pat right here. So when I do this, I can draw a very small circle around both the hands and the club head right there. Now it's going to come down to the golf ball. This is a really important part of this. There's this one spot. With great swings, there will always be this one spot where the head of the golf club will block the golf ball. And that means the club is on the line that we want. And now it comes down. I get it in the center of the club face. I haven't gotten the ground first. I've hit the ball first. Now it hits the ball. Now it sinks into the mat. I like to hit cuts. So this one here, the path of the club, I like to work the path across. You see the club head and the golf ball disperse other sides. Now, Gibbsy, pull up that shot that I just hit down the line there. And you can see that golf ball started the way I want, and it twisted over to the right-hand side because I've got this thing on the right plane. So, one of the things that's going to help you get a feel of the proper plane is to do it improperly. I'm a big fan, like if you're trying to solve a problem, feel what it feels like to do it wrong and then do it right. So what I'll literally do when I'm working on playing is I'll, without a club or anything, just hold my hand like this, twist it this way. So forearm and wrist are twisting that way. And then let it drop back. And when I drop back, you can see, I still see that orange gear tie there. When I twist it over here, it disappears. There you can see it. There you can't. So if I twist it up, it goes away. If I flap it, I still get to see it. So up here like this, flap it in good space. Let's see what we can get. Another really good strike, ball first contact. That ball starts out a little bit to the left and moves over to the right-hand side. Come on up here and let's look at these numbers because this is exactly what we want to see. What I want to see is I want to see a horizontal launch just slightly left. That's 1.8 to the left. I want to see some spin over to the right-hand side. So all I'm really looking at is an L over here and an R over here. That's going to give me the shot shape that I'm looking for, which is just a little butter cut. All my numbers are really good. I didn't swing hard at it, but what I got was I got an amazingly efficient ball speed for a pretty slow club head speed. 6-iron that I'm hitting here. Very efficient. Why? Because I got that club on plane. So you want to get the club on plane. Hit one more here, and I'm going to try to hit it a little bit harder this time. And again, what I recommend, set up, go to the top, and flop. Then go to the top and twist. So we go to the top, flop. I can still see that orange thing. Go to the top and flip. And twist. So here, no good. Flop, very good. Now we go up here, flop. And there's another really good strike. That's going right down the same line that I just had with a little bit of twist to it. Those are virtually identical. You want to improve your golf swing. You want to improve the consistency of the strike. You want to get some predictability in what's going on with apexes and distances. It will help you so much to get the club on the proper plane. And in order to do that, you literally get a gear tie, you tie it around there like that, and you just simply work on twisting and flopping, twisting and flopping. And when you start to understand how that trail wrist is controlling the plane of your golf club, now all of a sudden, you're going to start to have a chance to really strike the ball consistently and enjoy that. And by the way, you know what's also going to happen for you? A lot of people are going, man, what a good-looking golf swing you've got. Yeah, you know what you say? I learned it from my boy, that Breed guy. He's helping me out, help you out as well. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.